Hello, I'm Patricia from Communication 2016, and right now I'm going to read for you guys about content analysis that I found in the internet. Content analysis is a widely used technique in communication sciences. It is a method by which some observable contents, such as text, images, and objects, that are transferred through coding into a measurable and variable form. The process of conducting a content analysis follows the general research process of quantitative inquiries. Perhaps the most distinctive part is the construction of a coding scheme, a detailed instruction for identifying and classifying the units of analysis. The unit of analysis refers to what is counted, and what is counted is analytical whole, taken as a separation unit. Originally, content analysis was introduced to the communication sciences to bring analytical rigor or an end objectivity. Therefore, the content was originally defined as manifest, observable, and as unambiguously counted as possible. Examples of such units are the length of newspaper article as measured in inch or the numbers of different sexes in different scenes of soap opera. Content can also be visual, non-verbal, or even audible. Manifest content is easy to determine beforehand and to identify from the data. Units of analysis can be less manifest based on the subjective interpretation of the coder. An example of such unit of analysis could be attractiveness or an emotional tone of voice, positively or negatively, of a speech act. The identification of contents can be subject to the subjective basis of the coder. More objectivity can be brought to the analysis by using more than one coder and calculating an intercoder coefficient. In this way, the predictability of the result by other researchers can be used as a measure of reliability. There are many ways to do the calculation, and the whole data does not need to be double-coded, but a fraction of it, such as 10 until 20%. One of the most used reliability measures in this context is coherence kappa. So that's from me. Thank you guys.
Hello, my name is Rutna Davina. I'm from Communication 2016. Now I want to tell you about content analysis. So what is content analysis? Content analysis is a method for summarizing any form of content by counting various aspects of the content. This enables a more objective evaluation than comparing content based on the impression of a listener's content analysis. Though it often analyzes written words, is a quantitative method. The result of the content analysis are numbers and percentage. So, what is content? The content that is analyzed can be in any form to begin with, but is often converted into written words before it is analyzed. So, the original source can be print, publication, broadcast programs, other recording, the internet, or the live situation. All this content is something that people have created. You can do content analysis, you can say the weather. But if somebody writes a report about predicting the weather, you can do a content analysis of that. So, content divided into two types. The first one is media content, and the second is audience content. Just about everything in the above list is media content, but when you get feedback from audience member, that's audience content. So, why do we do content analysis. So if you're also doing audience research, the main reason for also doing content analysis is to be able to make links between cause and effect. So if you do an audience survey, but you don't systematically relate the survey finding to your program output, you won't know why your audience might have increased or decreased. You might guess when the survey results first appear, but a true content analysis is much better than a guess. So, the content analysis has 6 main stages. So, the first one is selecting content, the second is unit of content, the third is preparing content for coding, the fourth is coding the content, the fifth is counting and weighting, and the last is drawing conclusion.
Hello, my name is from COMMUNICATION16. I want to talk about an overview of content analysis. When used properly, content analysis is a powerful data reduction technique. Its major benefit comes from the fact that it is a systematic, replicable technique for compressing many words of text into viewer content categories based on explicit rules of coding. It has the attractive features of being unobtrusive and being useful in dealing with large volumes of data. Content analysis is useful for examining trends and patterns in documents. For example, Stabler and Bibel in 1998 conducted a content analysis of school mission statements to make some inferences about what schools hold as their primary reasons for existence. One of the major research questions was whether the criteria being used to measure program effectiveness align with the overall program objectives or reason for existence. Content analysis provides an empirical basis for monitoring shifts in public opinion. Data collected from the Mission Statements project in the late 1990s can be objectively compared to data collected at some point in the future to determine if policy changes related to standards-based reform have manifested themselves in school mission statements. The technique of content analysis extends far beyond simple word frequency counts. Many limitations of word counts have been discussed, and methods of extending content analysis to enhance the utility of analysis have been addressed. Two fatal flaws that destroy the utility of a content analysis are faulty definitions of categories and non-mutually exclusive and exhaustive categories. Thank you.